Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds always looked like Hollywood's golden couple. Funny, glamorous, picture perfect. But behind the banter, fans are starting to see cracks. What used to feel like adorable trolling now feels like a mask. And the drama surrounding "It Ends With Us" might be the final unraveling. When Blake and Justin Baldoni began working together, things already felt odd. Rumors of tension on set grew louder, but no one expected Ryan Reynolds to get involved, let alone accused of trying to intimidate Justin both on and off camera. Even Taylor Swift, once one of Blake's closest friends, seemed to take a step back. That alone raised eyebrows. The timing couldn't have been worse. Just as the feud went public, Blake and Ryan's relationship came under scrutiny again. A fan left a harmless comment under one of Blake's Instagram posts. "You and Ryan need to post more of each other. I didn't believe the divorce rumors because you two are the perfect couple." Blake's reply? "Ha ha 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 sa, they wish," followed by a laughing emoji. But fans didn't laugh. In fact, it reignited the very rumor she was trying to shut down. It didn't help that the couple's wedding, once celebrated, had long been criticized for being held on a former slavery plantation, a decision they've since called a mistake. But when added to the performative feel of their public appearances, many now say the entire relationship has felt more like a brand partnership than a marriage. From the beginning, Ryan and Blake have carefully curated their public image. Fun, quirky, lovingly sarcastic. But fans are starting to feel like it's all just too much. Ryan is always on in interviews, cracking jokes, especially about his marriage. But the laughter has started sounding more like deflection. Blake, on the other hand, tries to keep up, but her attempts at humor often backfire. It's awkward and it's becoming harder to ignore, especially when you look at how much of their banter centers around infidelity, secrets, and marital tension. During a promotional interview, Blake was asked about a sweet story Ryan once told, how he cried uncontrollably at the birth of their child. Blake smiled, paused, and calmly debunked it. "I don't know if that's an accurate description," she said. "He is charming. He comes up with funny things, but no, he wasn't crying that much." That moment hit differently. It wasn't playful, it was a gentle but public correction. A reminder that the reality behind their romantic stories might not be so romantic after all. Things escalated when fans dug deeper into Blake's working relationship with Justin Baldoni. The lawsuit Justin is now facing brought something unexpected to light: text messages between him and Blake that crossed boundaries. In one exchange, the two discussed an intimate scene in "It Ends With Us." The scene was written for their characters, sure, but the tone of the conversation turned oddly personal. Blake made a comment about how mortified she'd be if her character's situation ever happened to her. Justin responded by comparing the moment to experiences with his wife. But then things got weirder. They began texting about Blake meeting a new version of herself, and she referenced her suppositories in a joke that was, frankly, too graphic to brush off as casual. The chemistry? Unmistakable. The subtext? Hard to deny. Yet Blake would later file legal paperwork accusing Justin of misconduct. That contradiction lit up the internet. Was she uncomfortable? Or just covering something up? Meanwhile, Ryan's pattern of insecurity was becoming clearer. Former Deadpool co-star TJ Miller said publicly that Ryan was deeply insecure, and that his charm often masked his discomfort. Even Scarlett Johansson, Ryan's ex-wife, once hinted that competitiveness strained their marriage. She described the challenge of two actors growing in their careers at the same time, especially when one starts to outshine the other. Sound familiar? Blake has taken a step back from acting over the last few years, focusing on family. But "It Ends With Us" was her return to leading a project. And just as she steps forward, the drama erupts. The feud with Justin, Ryan's rumored meddling, public reactions that feel forced and overly polished. On social media, Blake and Ryan continued their sarcastic dance. In 2018, Blake unfollowed Ryan and several other accounts without explanation. Fans noticed. Ryan responded as always with a joke. Definitely stings. Terrible way to find out I've been kicked out of the house. It got laughs, but also raised the question, why are all their jokes about their marriage being in trouble? They even joked about cheating scandals on Valentine's Day, referencing Ashley Madison, a site infamous for helping married people cheat. Blake teased Ryan for not knowing how to swipe on an app. He played along. She replied, "Ever since Ashley Madison closed, I've been so lonely." Even when commenting on viral news stories like a woman who claimed she was engaged to a ghost, Ryan's response was, "This is how I find out?" referring to Blake. It's funny on the surface, but over time it all adds up to one big performance. At what point do these jokes stop being jokes and start becoming confessions? In another moment, Blake told Ryan during an interview that she was keeping a lot of secrets, with a sly smile. Some fans laughed. Others took it seriously, especially after the lawsuit between her and Justin revealed more than anyone expected. And that's what's most unsettling. The line between sarcasm and truth has blurred. They've trained the public to view everything through a comedic lens, which makes it nearly impossible to tell when they're being real. But the evidence is piling up, and people are no longer laughing. From Easter eggs buried in It Ends With Us giving cheeky nods to Gordon Reynolds, a pseudonym used for Ryan's Deadpool character, to Blake mistaking Ryan for Ryan Gosling in a birthday post, the couple seems to thrive on mixing truth and trolling. But it's starting to feel like a way to dodge real conversations. Blake hasn't headlined many projects recently, and some speculate she took full creative control of It Ends With Us, not just to revive her career, but to prove something. Meanwhile, Ryan keeps his momentum going, with one-liners, brand endorsements, and back-to-back projects. It's as if they're on two completely different paths, occasionally crossing for a photo op or PR moment. And in all of this, Justin Baldoni remains the most unpredictable wildcard. Whatever happened between him and Blake, it clearly rattled something, either professionally, emotionally, or both. And Ryan's silence paired with passive-aggressive jokes only adds fuel to the fire. The more fans look back, the more red flags they find. The jokes about infidelity, the jokes about divorce, the moments where their playful jabs land a little too hard. Now that lawsuits have exposed private texts and Taylor Swift's silence seems intentional, people are asking, are we watching a couple in crisis? Or one that's already broken up and just hasn't told the world? It's no longer about who said what in a funny interview. It's about what wasn't said. What was hidden behind the smiles, the sarcasm, the social media posts? Blake and Ryan built a brand off the idea of being the relatable, self-aware celebrity couple who roast each other out of love. But that performance might be cracking, and what's underneath doesn't look nearly as charming. They say the best lies are the ones that make you laugh. But what happens when no one's laughing anymore?